Hello, hello. It's Websy Wongi slash Hannah Harmonia. I thought I would say that just to say it. Um, I am going to do kind of like what I've been. It's not something I plan to make a video about, but just a discussion, an open discussion about something I've been noticing. Not necessarily on social media, as it on these platforms with a lot of people that have businesses, kind of like business oriented ideas, which I'm just going to be in full disclosure that I don't want people to get the wrong idea that when you have your own business, that you have any ill intentions to manipulate people. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just giving my ideas, my viewpoint on a lot of these things that a lot of people may not recognize. Now, there could be possibly a few of you who feel the same way I do, which I'm not alone at this, because it's like usually if you have a thought of some kind, it's usually it's been thought of before. So I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks this. But the discussion that I'm talking about is a lot of these platforms that a lot of people build businesses. I want to talk about or kind of expose a lot of things that I see wrong with a lot of people these days. And I'm not saying these are in any way judgment calls, but in some way recognizing the flaws that I don't know if they personally actually see as flaws. And it kind of irritates me, kind of like a pet peeve of mine that I've been seeing, and catchphrases and certain things that maybe if you're curious about certain people that maybe you follow on social media, which I'm not trying to make it out to be like, diss people or don't follow or associate with certain people. I'm not saying that, whatever. But when it comes to people on these platforms of social media and stuff that have business, I feel like there's a few flaws I see in some people. And I'm not trying to pick apart their character. I'm just stating what I see that's wrong with a lot of people. And one of those flaws I see is when people have tarot business. Me personally, I wanted to start a tarot business of some kind, to help people. And I feel like if you have any experience with tarot or know what tarot is and you want to implement that in your life, I feel like there's a few ideas that you need to watch out for when it comes to these businesses, when it comes to tarot. And I notice a lot of people who have these business with tarot, they do this, and it's kind of like a really annoyance and turn off to me when I hear people use these phrases. And so one of the things I find really annoying about people on these platforms is they use phrases like they're trying to start out their business, or then they put on, I guess, for this type of facade or this type of look or outlook on things, or they're making it out to be that, they're trying to get rich fast in some way. They use in some way this type of look on their face where it's like I can read through them in some way. And that's maybe in some way Cancer's quality about us. Like we're psychically aware of things and we have this inner knowing that things are off here. Red alert, red alert. But I find these catchphrases of manipulation because I know a lot of people diss and put down Cancers for manipulation, but I feel like we have the tactic to use it to our benefit, but I also feel like we naturally do not want to manipulate people. It's just how we're feeling with our emotions of things that can get us off kilter. And I came across a video of a tarot reader I watched today, and right away, for the past weeks and months, I've watched him here and there. I've tried to be a supporter as long as I follow this person, but it was really annoying because the way he was sounding was, he sounded like he needed money. He sounded like he's in desperate diver's need of people to pay him this money. And like he's trying to make it out to be more of a rich, quick rich scheme more than actually helping people. And originally when I followed this one person on YouTube, I liked his emphasis on helping people. I liked his emphasis on really focusing on helping people heal and using his abilities in such a way to actually help people. But one thing that distanced me right away, and it happened about last year when I followed him, he started changing into more of a person that was about the rich scheme of things instead of actually helping people, actually being a support team to people instead of, this facade that he puts on and portrays to people that he's in dire need of money. And I get it. We're at a time in history where people are desperate. People are looking ways to make money. But I feel like the off-kilterness of it all, people don't really watch it for their own self. And I've had to do a lot of examination because I've been in situations where I felt like I was questioning my own integrity when it comes to, am I just trying to somehow get a tactic for myself? Am I trying in some way use someone? And it's like, I know I have all these weird thoughts and energies that come at me, and it's like, I even have to question myself, keep in check, what is my intention of what I'm doing? Am I just trying to get something in return? And I feel like a lot of these people, they really start out as good intentions of trying to seek, not necessarily followers, but seek people's approval of what they're doing in some way where it makes it out to be in such a slight way, where they're trying to grab people's attention to what they're doing, but they're actually losing more followers when it comes to their goal mission. And what is your goal mission is, first of all, that I have to say, is your mission to manipulate people in such a way so you can gain money and approval and recognition of some kind? I feel like a lot of people lost money in situation. A lot of people don't have the stability that they need in society when it comes to their jobs, not making enough money. So I feel like some people do resort to tarot, and they just do it as a showy type of thing that they want to get rich. And so they feel like in some way, and do mind me, I'm just, taking a part of what I'm seeing and like trying to dissect it in some way. So I could be wrong, but it's just what the vibe I'm getting off of people, that people are so desperate to get rich, or people are so desperate in some way to gain followers, or they claim that they're not into, the whole rich scheme. But it's like, why do we have to pay you money for a tarot reading? And I never understood that. I know a lot of people say they put a lot of energy and time into it to help people, but it doesn't take money, in my opinion, to actually help people. It takes a genuine person that you don't think of what you're going to expect from people. And I think that's the lies people tell people, that if I do this in such a way and look and present it in such a way that I can get and gain success from people. And it's almost like you're using people as a manipulation tactic to get what you want. It's almost like, I'm going to be blunt about it. It's almost like using people for sex so you can gain that satisfaction and just indulge in greed and indulge in this manipulation trap that a lot of these people put people through, and they don't even understand it. They don't even see it for what it is. So I do admit I could be coming passive aggressive or in some way, irritated by it. I do apologize for that, but I'm just trying to speak from a place of honesty where I personally come from. Because there's certain tactics a lot of us use to get what we want? Like, are we just having sex just so we can feel the pleasure of it? Or are we having sex, or the idea of having sex with someone just so we can, please ourselves in some way? And I feel like that in some way needs to end with people when they use these tactics of some form of power that they have within media to grab a hold of people, twist words, and make it out to be a money scheme. And I do feel like some of the other people I follow on social media, they don't seem as much as it, but they're still using a little bit of that tactic. Like, they want people to buy into their products, but they're actually in some way so they can gain something. I feel like it's type of lies and manipulations I'm really sensing with some people. But also, to my other point I want to make when it comes to a business, and like, for me, I am not a professional at this, so don't get mad when I say this or anything, but like, I don't know how the business world works, but I'm just an observer from the outside, and I see it from time to time with people, and it just makes me cringe inside. Like, when it comes to tarot, I feel like when you're generally love something you do, and I do understand that there are ways to work around it where you're making money with what you love, whether it's tarot, whether it's some type of therapist work when it comes to like Reiki and healing and stuff, that in some way you're trying to provide for yourself. You're trying to make ends meet, and you're not wanting to, do the regular 9 to 5 job and, break your back for the rest of your life. But I just feel like a lot of people don't understand that when it comes to the passions of maybe your own business, or when it comes to, and I've tried so many times to have my own business, whether it's tarot, whether it's selling things, I feel like a lot of people, what they don't realize is, when it comes to building a business, when it comes to your own business, your own investments, customers you have, I feel like the true essence of it, you have to ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? Are you doing it for the fame and fortune? Are you doing it as a mission that you feel called and led to help people and to evolve people into who they're truly meant to be and designed to be? Or are you in some way manipulating the system and trying to gain something from everyone? Me personally, I don't feel like tarot should be a business. I think there's a form of tarot that could work as a business, but I feel like it really doesn't make a lot. And I feel like a lot of people, they do well with it. One YouTuber I watch, he actually does tarot with astrology, but he doesn't ask for ratings. I mean, maybe on his off time he does, but he's more of a real based person where it's not all about the money. It's all about what's happening with astrology, what's happening with this. And there's probably other things he sells like on his market and online. If you guys are interested in a tarot reader that actually goes correctly with astrology, and that's one of the reasons I was drawn to him. I forgot exactly how I started watching him, but I've seen him on YouTube. His name is the Leo King, and he not only reads the cards, but he actually tells you what's going on with astrology. And like, for me, I think that's a great way to use your platform. Use your information that you feel led to, and not make it so much about, pay me for a reading, like you're trying to gain something. He's actually doing the hard work. Even behind the scene, I can see his energy. He's hard at work. He barely sleeps sometimes. And it's like, that's probably what draws more crowd to him, like honest crowds that are hungry for astrology, who love astrology. That's what it's about. But if you honestly make it out to be, hey, I got this business, and always And I've heard a YouTuber do this who is into tarot and has her own business on the side. I'm not going to mention who it is, but it's like I've seen them do that. But it's like every time I watch their video, they're always introducing themselves. They're always putting it out to be like, this is what I do and blah, blah, blah. But in comparison to that other guy, the Leo King, he actually, I mean, yeah, he introduces who he is. That's fine to introduce yourself. You know, everyone does that on YouTube. But he doesn't make it out to be his money. You know, he doesn't make it out, hey, I have a business. Look at what you can buy. No. If you're interested, and this is what I'm talking about, if you're interested in something, you're going to be drawn to it. You know, you're not going to waste your time or waste your money on something that isn't you know? And I feel like just as people have different doctors they go to, just like different people have customers, you have to be drawn to that person if you want to buy something from their products. And I feel like that should be how tarot works. You know, make it known to people that, hey, I'm starting this business, I'm starting whatever, you know, name it. But you shouldn't have to constantly tell people, you know, all this stuff that a lot of people say. I'm this, I've done this. Nobody cares what you've honestly done. You know, we just want to see who you are for what it is. We don't want to see all this bullshit that's collected with your business. We just want to see you. If we're interested in what you got to say, or if you're saying you have this new product line, we'll look it up. You know, people are curious like that. I don't feel like people constantly need to see it. People don't need to constantly need to know that, you know, you have a 10 years degree in health and, you know, fitness. Who cares? You know, that's up to you if you want to share that or not. I just think it's annoying when people constantly put their business before their mission, when it was actually your mission and your desires and passion that made you start into this business, instead of just crap where it just seems like your business becomes more of a thing than you as a person. And it's becoming ridiculous how desperate people will get for so much to say. As an example, sex. You know, it's like, are you just trying to find that one scheme to have sex? Are you just trying to find that one scheme for that extra dollar in your pocket? It's like, there's other ways around it. And I feel like a lot of people are misguiding a lot of people. And it's annoying because they claim to be these spiritual leaders or these spiritual light workers, but they're more false prophets, in my opinion. And it's just getting really annoying and out of date. And people really need to start waking up that what is their intentions? Why the heck did they start in the business or the platform that they are? You know, it's like, it's repulsive to me. Anyways, it's just, that's why it's like really hard to honestly listen to people. I don't know if anyone feels the same way. It's honestly hard to listen to anyone when all they talk about is their business, when all they talk about is their money, and, you know, sign up today for a free thing or free reading, but you have to pay $1,000 for it. You have to pay overcharged fees for it. It's like, if you honestly want to help people, help people. Stop making it all about the money. You know, it's bullshit to me. It's like you're talking about the money before you're actually doing what you're doing. And like I said, I'm not dissing anyone in a type of their own business. You know, do it the way you want. Do it the way you feel it should be run. But I just feel like when you're fully focused on always putting that money out in front of people's face, nobody wants to pay to listen to you because that's all you talk about. You know, it's annoying more than anything. I feel like I am drawn to more people that are actually passionate, and they're, I mean, if they are passionate about their business, that's one thing, but they're more passionate about what they're doing and they're not making it all about them. And I just feel like when it comes to making money, I'm not a professional at it. I'm doing the best I can in life. But I feel like when it comes to making money, you should never feel like you're taking advantage of people. You should never feel like you're using people so you can somehow get that jolly off of your pleasures of life. And it's disgusting to me. Um, but I feel like there's other ways to make money without making it all about you. I feel like if your heart is in the right place, if you're actually wanting to start something fresh, like let's say be an herbalist, be a massage therapist, be someone that actually wants to create something with their physical hands because they know what they're creating is actually going to help people. But the question is, leave out the expectation. I feel like people are so focused on expecting something in return that when you let go of that idea that you're going to get something back, or I really hate, and I'll try to close this short, but I really hate when you're trying to be friends with someone. I've seen this countless. You're trying to be friends with someone. You're trying to befriend them. And I just feel like a lot of times you feel used or abused by those friends because they're not really genuinely helping you. It's like they're using you as their energy source. And I feel like that has to end, where it's like you even got to look at your friendships and relationships. Like, let's say you don't have a car. Like, I don't have a car. Are you using that friend or that friendship for a car? And I was questioning myself sometimes, because it's like, yeah, I want to hang out with friends, but am I really wanting to hang out with friends, or I want to use their car? That could go wrong south. But I feel like all of us in some way, we use people sometimes without not even realizing. I would admit that. But it's like we gotta get out of this idea that we have to expect things in return. Like yesterday, for example, I was thinking, I'm gonna be nice because it is almost Valentine's and I want to get my fiance, some chocolate or something. But that stuff started creeping up. I'm like, well, I kind of want something if he gets me something. So it's like I had to end that thought and realize, okay, I thought of him. It's the thought that counts, and I can't expect it. It's just the old self that comes back, where you do something nice for someone and you want in some way for them to be, reciprocal or to get something back. But you have to break that cycle. I feel like if you want to start a business of some kind, stop expecting people to buy from you or to sell from you or something like that, and really start focusing on you. Focus on your passions and why you even started this in the first. Are you trying to make that $1,000 a year or something? Are you trying to be rich? And it's like, yes, people got to make money. People got to pay bills and stuff. But I feel like there's ways to rearrange it where it doesn't come across as needy, desperate of money, It's the same thing that goes to relationship. Are you needy? Are you desperate for that person in some way that you can't live without them? Or in some way you're using their energy as the life force for you to breathe? It's like, come on. But yeah, there's other ways when it comes to making money. Like I said, I feel like, you know, your heart has to be right and it has to be fully aligned with who you really want to be and your passions. Like, are you doing this type of Reiki healing energy work with people, or massage therapists, or tarot card readings? Are you doing it honestly to help people or to gain something? And for a while I questioned myself. I wanted to start a business with tarot, but it's like it doesn't honestly make sense how that works. It's like I'm giving people's readings and I'm getting money from it. It's like, what are you paying? What's the expense of that? Yeah, you put time and energy into it, but it's your own energy. But it's like, in some way, I don't feel like that should need money from people. Like, people could honestly give themselves a reading if they had to. It's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are living in these illusions and lies and deceptions that in some way what they're doing makes them spiritual, or in some way on this pedestal that they're trying to create a platform and a business, but they're not really going far with it because it's making them sound like they're using people in some way. I don't know, they're coming across as like this desperate person that needs money, that fast cash, when it's like they're not really in alignment with the passion. And I feel like a lot of people, and I'll close with this, sorry, a lot of people I feel like veer to the simplest things as tarot card readings as a job, or they claim it as a job in some way, as their mission in life, because it's fast cash. People are willing to do the most extreme things for fast cash. But is it really at the end of the day their passion, or is it their passion that they're getting the money? That's the question that I would love to ask some of these tarot readers if I had the chance. I'm not going to blatantly tell some people that, but it's like, I'd rather do something because I have the passion for it than to actually do it to get rich. Because at the end of the day, if all that money was taken away from you and all that expectation and you didn't get anything for it, would you still be happy doing it? Or would you be in desperation for just someone to buy your product or someone to buy your reading? It's like, you're losing your socks over stupidity that you're not really looking at from a higher perspective, that when it comes to helping people, it shouldn't cost anything. Like, to do an actual tarot reading, I'm just going to be blunt with this. To do an actual tarot reading, it has to do with a lot of investing your energy and connecting with each of those people that you connect with, as putting yourself in their situation. And when you lay out the cards, you're looking at as that person is going through that situation, and you're reading off in a story script of what's going on in their life. Let's say they got the Three of Swords with the Tower card and the Fool. Well, it looks like they're going through chaos. It looks like they're trying to start something new, but there's chaotic things and heartbreaks and swords everywhere. So I automatically feel like that person is going through shit. That person's going through hell on earth and they need to really heal. But I just feel like it should never involve helping people where you're using that person for gain. Like, I'm only helping you so I can get paid today. And it's like, you're literally like, try that on for size, those of you who are in a relationship. I'm only giving you sex or giving into my sexual desires so I can feel this high or something. I'm only doing this so I can gain something out of it. It's like, I'm only doing this because if I don't, then maybe you're going to say something repulsive to me, or like, I'm not giving it to you. It's like, you can give it to your own damn self. You really could. It's like, a lot of people, I feel like, they fully rely on people to give them something. But it's in our own nature to give it to ourselves, whether it's pleasure. And I feel like a lot of people twist that idea when it comes to like these tarot readings. Like, they're like, if and I've heard the reader, and I'm not going to mention who it is, I've heard this reader say, you can give it to your own damn self. I'm just the messenger of God telling you what you can do. Well, the thing is, a lot of people, I feel like they fully rely on these people tarot readers to give them the answers when you have the answers within you if you're still enough. If you relax and try to calm your mind just a little bit and stop relying on people to give you that answer. And it's like something I'm coming to terms with. It's like you don't always have to go to your friends for advice. You don't always have to go to these tarot readers for advice. Go to your own damn self, you know? And I feel like a lot of people solely rely on something outside of them to give the answer when, you know, spirit is present with you. God, the universe is within you. A lot of people in the spirit world, when it comes to our ancestors, when it comes to guides and angels, they're there to assist you if you're in dire need. So why are we going to tarot readers? Why are we going to people outside of ourselves when we have the source within us? And like one of the reasons why I do tarot and I have such a passion for it every month is I like to inform people of what they can work on for themselves and what they can succeed in their life, and you know, share my gifts and talents with you all, not so I can make a quick scheme. And that's what a lot of people I feel like miss when it comes to these so-called spiritual leaders or light workers, that they're making it sound like you have to pay a fortune to get advice. And I do understand there's a lot of people who do need advice and they should go to people for advice. But I feel like they're just so tied into the idea that just because this person has far more wisdom that, you know, I can gain something from it. But it's like you're fooling yourself when you feel like you always have to ask people. Ask your own damn self, you know? Quiet the mind, do some meditation, do some prayers if you have to, mantras, whatever, to really get still with yourself instead of always feeling like you need outside friends or you need outside people to give you the damn answer, when it's like you are smart, you are intelligent. I think a lot of people play in the victim mentality that they're helpless creatures when they really have a lot of people backing up, whether it's angels, whether it's people that pass on. You have a lot of people assisting you. A lot of people are ready to open up for wisdom to give and hand to you, but it's about, are you willing to stay calm? Are you willing to open up your heart a little bit and your mind to receive the messages? Because I feel like the best way to open yourself up a little bit to spirit and divine consciousness of your higher self with God or community with God is being still. Like if you don't know the direction in your life, which all of us are at that, you know, we don't know where we're going in 2020. We're scared of the unknown, you know. That's where meditation comes in. And if we're always overthinking shit, you know, we're going to get lost. And we have to be still. We have to go into isolation in some way to find the answers. And a lot of people, I feel like they're power hungry. They're so quick to make that dollar, but they're not even really investing in themselves. They're not really taking time to understand how their higher self and their lower self are connected, and the dark and the light, we need to merge together and really step into our higher self. And when I mean higher self, the place where we're one with everything, that we're connected with source and we don't have to go out searching for it. It's already there. You know, the answer is already there. And a lot of people, and I'm not trying to rabbit trails here, but a lot of people go to church for the answer or go to God for the answer when we are complete. God is within us. We are in the image of God. We have the source and the illumination within us. Like I said, our ancestors are backing us up. Our spirit guides are backing us up. So it's like a lot of people go to these events or these things to make them feel good, when it's like they just need to come back to center, come back to where the answer and where we need to focus on being tuned with ourselves. That's the thing, and a lot of people don't talk about that. Anyways, enough me rambling on and going on and on. But anyways, I wanted to share that truth that I've come to terms with a lot of these people. Like I said, one of the reasons why I do tarot is not for the money, fame, fortune. I do it because I want to help people. I do it because it's something that I could use and a tool to help people and to illuminate truths that maybe I can learn from about certain people and their energies they're going through, and realize we're all connected. We're all in some way going through the same shit, but different time in our lives and different levels of things. And a lot of people feel like they're so disconnected when they're actually not. It's just the energies we're coming against, the headbutting problematic, and people and their viewpoints and politics. Like, geez, so much going on. Just connect more with yourself on who you were created and designed to be, and connect with your inner god or goddess of yourself, Understand that you have the answer. You have the guidance around you, guiding you, and angels and the spirit of love and divinity within you. So it's like, why go out? Why try to seek something to just dissipate you and deplete you, Stay connected with yourself, Your goddess, your God of who you really are. I can't stress that enough. Anyways, bye-bye.